you should be pro-life and pro-choice.
I know what you're thinking.
J-Mac, it's impossible to be pro-life and pro-choice at the same time.
Well, I'm here to tell you it's not, and it's actually something that we all should be.
What you talking about?
These are both based on our rights. The first, the right to choose. Freedom. It's a big time deal. I like freedom. I have lots of friends who are free. So obviously I want to protect the freedom to choose.
You chose poorly.
The freedom to choose what I do with my body. But then there's the freedom to life, the right to life. And I believe that it's the role of government to protect life, to protect others from taking away that right. So it feels like both of these rights, the right to choose and the right to life, are crashing into each other at full speed. And trying to figure out how to deal with this accident, this wreck that is colliding with our rights, it can be difficult to determine how to proceed. So going back to my original statement, is there a way to do both? The ability to protect the right to choose and the right to life. Well, honestly, we can't fully do one or the other. That's the unfortunate nature of having rights and freedoms. They don't all peacefully coexist together, but there is a way to come close. So let's start with the right to choose. How do we protect that? Well, we must, and I say must, allow women a period of time to exercise this right. Bodily autonomy, which is a mouthful, is something that needs to be protected. Now, if you have a religious belief and you believe that your creator doesn't want this to happen, then my solution during this time period where we're allowing for bodily autonomy, we let that creator carry out the justice, whatever it is. However, he wants to hold them accountable to taking away that embryo. And I can trust him with that judgment. Now let's go to the other one, protecting the right to life. We should designate a time in pregnancy when bodily autonomy ends and the right to life begins. And that's when we put in restrictions from the government. So in this way, you have the protection of rights for a time, and you have the protection of life at a certain time.
You have chosen wisely.
It's not perfect, I know, but nothing in a representative government that promotes and supports freedom is going to be perfect. There are no absolute answers in these cases because we disagree with each other on this issue. Now, I know what you're saying, and I can already hear it.
J-Mac, isn't this what we had under Roe v. Wade?
Well, yeah, it is.
So, J-Mac, did you support Roe v. Wade?
No, I didn't.
Well, excuse me!
You see, here's the thing. I believe in strict interpretation of the Constitution because otherwise, the authority of that Constitution gets diluted over time. And we see this constantly, everywhere. So very strict interpretation is important to me to maintain checks and balances. And with that in mind, the Constitution does not give the federal government the authority to regulate abortions. So this authority is reserved for the states. If you want the federal government to have this authority, then you need to amend the founding document, not just ignore it. And that's what we're seeing so often from both sides is we love the Constitution. It's so important. And we love constitutional limits until it's something that we want. And here's one final thought on the abortion issue. Honestly, it's being used to divide us. Nobody's out there trying to find common ground or trying to unite. There's no power in that. The power comes from ginning up fear, hatred, and anger. But there are some things that we should look at as we consider how important this issue is, how prevalent it is. And the truth is that the national abortion rate has been in steep decline since 1990, going way down, as you can see in this Pew Research graph, which cites several different studies.
You can't handle the truth!
So my point is, we need to stop letting the political parties manipulate us. If our representatives really wanted to solve these problems and create viable solutions, they would focus on building upon common ground. And that's what this idea does, of protecting the right to choose and protecting the right to life. Let's come as close to that as we can. Let's find legislation that satisfies the largest group of people instead of the extremes on one side or the other. I know it's a crazy thought, but it's just kind of how my mind works.